Hey, I'm Nick Von Brack, and this is the Record Podcast. Thanks for coming back to check out another episode. So this one is a mini episode for those of you who are not familiar. These are just kind of the in-between the interview episodes, giving a little bit of random in-depthness on things not regarding the specific guest of that episode, and just kind of babble on for a few minutes and tease some upcoming stuff. But I do want to start with a big thank you to everyone. And the tail end, just after posting the last episode, this podcast hit 10,000 plays, which is a huge deal for me. The podcast has been up for less than a year, and certainly didn't know how quickly that would happen. And with the help of some really awesome guests and people checking this podcast out, hit 10,000 plays. And just want to say thank you to everyone who's checked this out, everyone and anyone who has kept listening, who listens to the minis, who supports in any way they can. I really do appreciate it, and I'm excited for some cool stuff coming up in the future. I'll tease a little bit throughout this mini, but there's some really cool guests and things that I'm looking forward to. So some other stuff to get into. Music I'm listening to. I haven't done that in a minute. The new Lifted Bells EP is on a constant play right now. The new Descendants album is really solid, even better than I thought it was going to be. Just got into the band Party Gardens, which is they're an offshoot of one of the guys from Deer in the Headlights, one of my all-time favorite bands. So yeah, as you probably heard on previous episodes, I was teasing the fact that I was up against the wall with not having interviews, and I was in a bind, not sure what was going to come up. You know, I've got this long list of people that I want to get on the show at some point, but with everyone's schedules, you just never know. And luckily, I've been blessed with some people who just happen to be free and been wanting to do it, and were able to do it. So I knocked out a few, and so I have a nice little cushion again. But what I'm going to do is leave some hints on who's coming up, and you can go on Twitter, hit me up at the Record Podcast without the A. Hit me up, and if you have guesses, go shoot me them there, and I'll if you guess right, I will send out a record to you from my own collection. So just a little fun thing to do in the meantime. But for my next guest, it is my first in-person interview, which was an exciting thing. Technically, it was a little difficult to knock out due to only having one microphone. I wasn't sure how it would shake out. I do have a second one, but it didn't end up working out. And but it actually sounds good, so I'm excited to post that one up next week. But he is someone that is one of my absolute best friends. I've known for forever and ever. And he was in a band from the Chicago area that we played probably a million shows with. But if you can guess who that is, jump on Twitter, hit me up, and I will shoot you out a record. The interview after that is a gentleman who I toured with a long time ago. I guess anyone that I would have toured with would have been a long time ago, but he played bass in a band that I have yet to interview anyone from yet, and it was from one of our absolute all-time favorite tours. They are just a powerhouse of a band live, and they certainly changed the outlook on how we would play shows and the intensity that we would bring to our stage presence. So shoot me a guess there on that one. And after that, I'm having someone on I've also known for a long time. Used to work at a label that were connected to, and he now has done bigger and better things for himself. Can't really go much further than that because it'll be an easy guess otherwise, but he's done a lot of stuff for a certain kind of genre. So you got a guess for that, hit me up again at the Record Podcast without the A on Twitter. Toss me your guesses and I will shoot the winners records from my collection, which could be good or bad. That's part of the fun. And lately I've been getting some bites on potential interviews in the future. Some really cool ones. People from bands that I've talked about a lot on this podcast, and certainly I didn't think I would get this soon, and I've gotten responses saying that they're into doing it, so now it's just a matter of scheduling, and I'm really excited for them, so I'm hoping to put them on the schedule sometime soon and get those out into the world as soon as I have them. But get excited, some really cool potential stuff coming up. And yeah, since I haven't done this in a minute too, some upcoming shows. So I scrambled around, just did a quick little glance at what was coming up, some suggestions to go check out. So this weekend, some buddies and bands are playing a show at the Beat Kitchen. The bands Emblems and Hidden Hospitals playing this Saturday, July 30th, 10 p.m. At the Beat Kitchen. Go check that show out if you got nothing else going on. Those are some good bands, and it'll be a fun time. In August, Sunday, August 14th, Poison the Well is playing Bottom Lounge. And as much as I would like to be there, I don't think I'll be able to. But that band, they put on an awesome show, and one of my all-time favorites as well. So August 14th, Sunday, go check them out, the Bottom Lounge, and make your plans for Riot Fest, September 16th to the 18th. There's no better festival in my eyes. Of all the ones I've been to, it's the one that's the most fun, super well run, has a great theme, and every kind of band of all kinds of genres are there. So it seems like you could go there not even knowing who's playing and just have a good time. But there are some definite bucket list bands for me playing, the Refuse, the Hives. A lot of people are super excited on the Misfits reunion, Rob Zombie playing, I think Astro Creep in its entirety. There's just, go check out the list. There's a ton of bands. So there's just a few upcoming shows to go check out over the next few months. And that's pretty much it for me. Like I said, hit me up on Twitter at the Record Podcast without the A. Hit me up with any kind of, I just like talking to people on Twitter, so hit me up there. But if you got guesses for the upcoming interviews, do that. Friend on Facebook, Instagram, follow on SoundCloud, all the good stuff. Leave a review or rating on iTunes. All that stuff helps. I'll go through this every time, but it all certainly helps, and I appreciate it. And again, thank you all for jumping in on this show. 10,000 plays is a really big deal, so from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. I am excited about upcoming stuff with this podcast, and I will hear you, see you. You will see me, hear me next week with an interview with a good friend of mine who I'm excited to show to the world. So until then, take care of yourselves. Stay cool. It's really damn hot out there. Go enjoy your weekends, everyone. All right, take it easy.